the bye week. We had early practices on Monday and Tuesday morning around 6 a.m. Got some good work in. One of the things that's been going on all year long is obviously the numbers are down and the lack of depth. We still wanted to practice the underbelly of the team, get our threes and twos a lot better, but at the same time we have to get our ones healthy because we're playing games from the beginning all the way to the end. We haven't had an opportunity to really put the twos or threes in for any meaningful time, like a quarter and a half in a football game. So we had to give them some rest. We took Tuesday through Saturday off. I took the liberty of going to watch my daughter play volleyball down at Texas A&M. It is the fourth time that I've ever seen her play in college live. I can only do it during bye weeks. Oh yeah, I'm 4-0. Yeah, they were playing Missouri and they were #1 in the conference, and I've never lost a game that I've attended. If they've got money, they can make it happen. So that was exciting to see that. After that, we got back in, came back. During this time, all the coaches are out recruiting. Of course, we're watching tape of Clemson while we're doing that. And then we got back together on Saturday, Sunday, started putting the game plan together. Had a practice on Sunday to kind of get the cobwebs out, so to speak. We are back in game plan mode today, and we'll finish that up tonight. And then we'll go with practices Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and fly down there Friday night to play a very, very talented Clemson football team. You know, they look different. You know, I've seen a lot of football teams, but different. They're extremely talented on both sides of the football. They are well coached, and they are athletic. There are a lot of guys that are going to be millionaires playing on both sides of the football field, offensively and defensively for them. It's going to be a huge challenge, and heard it's going to be a TV game, so a lot of people are going to get to see it, and we'll show up and we'll see how we can do. Questions?
Cordell Hudson's missed the last few games. Just what's his status? He's not on the depth chart, so just his outlook for the rest of the season.
Again, it's a medical thing, and it you know, obviously has to do with when he feels better. He's not a guy that's out for the entire year. We don't want to put people back in until they absolutely feel like they're ready to go. And when the medical people give us the clearance, he'll be back in there.
Coach, given your experience against Lamar Jackson, how does that prepare you for a quarterback of the caliber of Deshaun Watson?
You know, I don't know if it really prepares you. I mean, Watson, he's his own guy. He may throw the ball better than Lamar. And Lamar does some amazing things with his legs. Obviously, you see it every single time ESPN comes on TV. You see the things that he can do with his legs, jumping over 6-foot defensive backs. But Watson may be a better thrower than Lamar. And, you know, we just have to see it. He's very talented. So I don't think by playing one you have an advantage of playing the other. I think they're both extremely talented.
Seems like they find a way to win in that last drive, last minute. What is it about them, at least that maybe you've seen, that they're able to do that?
You know, you never know, but when a team gets on a roll and, you know, they have a perfect record. You know, they're striving for perfection, and right now they're perfect. No matter how well you can say they played well this game or they didn't play well that game, they're still perfect. And I think that when teams really want to keep that, when they have that type of roll, they'll really fight down the stretch as hard as they can, the very last minute, to make sure that they can keep that perfection, especially when it's this late in the season. So I just think that they have a team that's bonded and they're really committed on their goal, which is trying to win a national championship, I'd imagine.
Clemson's defensive line, and their whole defense is really good, but their defensive line had a lot of success. As you look at kind of your offensive line and how they're trying to come through as 5 first-year starters, what can you do to prepare for a team like that? How much of it is maybe looking outside the offensive line and adjusting the game plan a little bit to prepare for pressure?
You know, we talked about it earlier in the season. We talked about elephants and hippos. They rule the jungle. You can't. It's hard to hide. It's hard to hide defensive linemen. Yes, through 31 years of college football and experience, there's some things we can do. But the bottom line is that those O linemen got to block the D linemen, and those D linemen have to get past the O linemen. And they are extremely talented, and it is going to be a challenging task.
Dino, in your, I guess, years of head coaching, have you ever been in as tough a road environment as you expect Clemson to be in terms of their fans and how they show up?
Yeah, I've been in some places. I've never been down to Death Valley before. I'm actually looking forward to it, believe it or not. I may not be saying that in the second or third quarter, or maybe by the end of the game. But as a competitor and a college football coach, I'm looking forward to it. I've been in hostile environments. I've been in the Rose Bowl, over 100,000 people. It's different though. It's the Rose Bowl is a perfect. Every seat's a perfect seat, so everyone can see. So the fans kind of get away from you. It moves away from you. The loudest place I've ever been is the University of Oregon. People don't believe it, but when you're in, for some reason, maybe it's the way Phil Knight and those guys built it. But it's not a lot of people, but it is extremely, extremely noisy. And the coaches literally have earplugs in their ears so you don't lose your hearing. It is that loud. Now, this place is different because they're on top of you. It's built the right way, and it's going to be loud. But, that's part of the challenge, and I think it's exciting. I think it's really cool. So I'm looking forward to it.
Cole Murphy's kind of continued to struggle a little bit as the season's gone on. What are you guys working on with him, and is it still kind of his job to lose?
I think that anytime with kickers, to me, it's very, very, just very detailed stuff. And you say he's struggling, I think he's doing okay. You know what I mean? And Cole's our kicker. We'll stay with him until he gets it right, because he could get it right on the very next kick. You kick 4, 5, 6 in a row, and all of a sudden your percentage goes way up. He started off the season great. I think he was 6 for 7 or something like that coming out of the gate, and then not so good here recently. So I'm pulling for him to start kicking it through the upright, and we'll be okay when he does.
Time for a couple more questions. Nico? Obviously, you guys take things one game at a time. As you approach here the last third of the home stretch of the season here, do you guys talk about what's on the table, what you guys can achieve at the end? Obviously, bowl game for beyond.
Nico, that's a great question. It really is. To be 4-4, at Syracuse University, where the games you remember are the ones in November, and we're going into November where the games, they matter. Whether there's something riding on it. Now, I don't know if we'll win another football game. I hope we win them all. But to have a chance to do some things that a lot of people didn't think this team was capable of, and to be able to maybe let this senior class that, if I'm not mistaken, has had 3 head football coaches, go out on a high note, I think that would be outstanding. And speaking to the young men in here on Sunday, I think they're ready for the challenge. And now we have to go out and prove some people wrong. We've played 8 football games. If I'm not mistaken, we've been favored in 1. I might be wrong. I was wrong once, okay? And we've got 4 more games coming up, and I don't think we're going to be favored in any of them right now. And for this football team to have an opportunity to go bowling this late in the game, I think they should be commended for it.
Last question, Coach.
Coach, you said what do you need to do to prove these naysayers wrong in this game?
I don't know if the naysayers. I don't know about the naysayers in this football game. This is an excellent, excellent football team. There's no weaknesses. We would have to play our best game. They'd probably have to play not their best game. But the really cool thing about football is that the ball's not round, okay, and it doesn't bounce correctly all the time. And if we can get a couple of bounces our way, then maybe we get a chance, maybe. But don't bet the house on it, brother. This is an excellent football team. It's at their place, and they're highly motivated. But give us a slingshot and a rock. That's all I ask, a slingshot and a rock.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.